The FBI located more than 2,000 documents about the JFK assassination that had never been sent to the National Archives.
Elon Musk recently unveiled secret FBI photos linked to the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy, leaving the public stunned. These images, hidden for decades, have now surfaced, raising questions about what truly transpired on that fateful day in Dallas, Texas. By sharing these photos with millions, Musk has deepened the mystery surrounding JFK's death. Why were these photos concealed for so long? What new information do they reveal? The answers could reshape everything we thought we knew. Join us in this video as we delve into the details. In an interview between Austin Westfall and presidential historian James Robenalt, the discussion centered on the recent discovery of 2,400 new records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. These records were uncovered by the FBI as federal agencies worked to comply with a new executive order mandating the release of thousands of JFK-related documents. While these documents are being transferred to the National Archives, their unexpected emergence has sparked speculation about whether they were previously overlooked or intentionally hidden. Given that CIA files, particularly those concerning Lee Harvey Oswald's time in Mexico, are highly sought after, Robenalt expressed surprise at the FBI's announcement. He suggested that the documents might have been missed in earlier searches or deliberately withheld, despite a 1992 law requiring their full release by 2017. When asked if the newly discovered records could contain significant information, Robenalt acknowledged the possibility but highlighted a broader issue. Many documents related to the assassination remain redacted or uncollected. He noted that 3,500 documents at the National Archives have portions blacked out, a major obstacle to uncovering the truth. Robenalt also mentioned that additional records might still be hidden and could come to light as agencies are now compelled to release them. The conversation then shifted to Representative Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, who leads a task force dedicated to exposing government secrets. She recently stated her belief that JFK's assassination involved two gunmen. Robenalt acknowledged widespread skepticism about the official single-shooter narrative, especially in light of Paul Landis's claims about the magic bullet found behind Kennedy's seat. He noted that the idea of a single bullet causing multiple injuries while remaining intact has always been difficult to believe. However, he cautioned against jumping to conclusions, urging researchers to focus on facts rather than theories. When discussing Oswald's role, Robenalt referenced The Oswald Puzzle, a new book that questions whether Oswald was the actual shooter or if he was framed. He explained that Oswald was under extensive CIA surveillance before his death, with 6 separate missions monitoring him, including during his trip to Mexico City. While Robenalt believes Oswald was likely involved, he also suggested that others may have played a part in the operation. The discussion then turned to the Trump administration's emphasis on releasing JFK files. Robenalt explained that the assassination is seen by the MAGA movement as a prime example of government secrecy. He cited authors like Kash Patel, who have written about the need for greater transparency in government documents. This perspective influenced Trump and others to push for the release of the files. As for when the documents will be made public, Robenalt revealed that a plan had been sent to the White House within the required 14-day period, but it has yet to be disclosed. An FBI insider told Axios that some records might be published online out of frustration with the delays. Robenalt expressed doubt, but warned that the administration might bypass the system and release the documents directly if agencies continue to obstruct the process. Rumors suggest that Elon Musk played a role in pushing for the release of the JFK assassination documents. Given his close ties to former President Trump and his growing influence in political circles, some speculate that Musk used his clout to ensure the documents were made public. Known for advocating transparency and expressing frustration with government secrecy, Musk may have been instrumental in bringing these long-hidden materials to light. To understand the growing controversy surrounding the JFK files, it's essential to revisit the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. Kennedy led the country during the Cold War, increasing military spending for both nuclear and conventional forces. He also escalated U.S. involvement in Vietnam, raising the number of military advisors from 400 to 16,000. Early in his presidency, the Bay of Pigs invasion, a failed CIA-backed attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro, took place. Later, the Cuban Missile Crisis brought the US and the Soviet Union to the brink of nuclear war, ultimately leading to the signing of the Test Ban Treaty, which prohibited nuclear tests in the atmosphere. The crisis also resulted in the establishment of a direct communication line between the White House and the Kremlin to prevent future conflicts. During Kennedy's tenure, the Soviet Union constructed the Berlin Wall to prevent East Germans from fleeing to the West. In response, Kennedy delivered his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech, offering hope to the people of Berlin and standing against Soviet oppression. Tragically, his presidency was cut short on November 22, 1963. On November 21, 1963, President Kennedy and his wife Jacqueline boarded Air Force One for a 2-day trip across 5 Texas cities. The visit aimed to bolster support for his 1964 re-election campaign. Texas was a crucial state for Kennedy, but his stance on civil rights and foreign policy, including the Bay of Pigs invasion, had alienated many Texans. Internal divisions within the Texas Democratic Party further complicated his efforts. On the morning of November 22nd, Kennedy addressed a large crowd outside his hotel in Fort Worth. Later, he delivered his final public speech at a breakfast hosted by the local Chamber of Commerce, stating, "This is a very dangerous and uncertain world. We would like to live as we once lived, but history will not permit it." Afterward, Kennedy and his team traveled to Dallas Love Field Airport, where they were greeted by a cheering crowd. The President and First Lady then took their seats in an open-top limousine for a parade through the city, accompanied by Texas Governor John Connally and his wife. As the motorcade passed through Dealey Plaza in downtown Dallas, First Lady Nellie Connally turned to Kennedy and said, "Mr. President, you can't say Dallas doesn't love you." Kennedy smiled and replied, "No, you certainly can't." These were his last words. At 12:30 p.m., as the motorcade approached the Texas School Book Depository, gunshots rang out. One bullet struck Kennedy in the neck before hitting Governor Connally in the shoulder and wrist. Seconds later, a second bullet struck Kennedy in the head, causing catastrophic damage. The limousine sped to Parkland Memorial Hospital, but Kennedy was pronounced dead at 1 p.m. Governor Connally survived his injuries. Less than an hour after Kennedy's death, police arrested Lee Harvey Oswald, an employee at the Texas School Book Depository. Witnesses reported hearing gunfire from multiple directions, with many pointing to a 6th-floor window of the depository. Oswald was seen leaving the building and was later apprehended at a nearby theater. A rifle was found on the 6th floor, initially identified as a 7.65 Mauser, but later confirmed by the FBI to be an Italian Carcano M91/38 rifle. Oswald had purchased the rifle earlier that year under the alias A. Heidel. Oswald was held in custody for 2 nights before being transferred to another jail. On November 24th, as millions watched on live television, nightclub owner Jack Ruby shot and killed Oswald. Ruby claimed he acted to spare Jacqueline Kennedy the pain of a trial. In the aftermath, President Lyndon B. Johnson established the Warren Commission to investigate the assassination. The commission's 888-page report, released in September 1964, concluded that Oswald acted alone, firing 3 shots from the depository. However, the report's findings have been widely disputed. Many believe there was a second shooter, citing witness accounts of gunfire from a grassy knoll near the motorcade. The so-called magic bullet theory, which posits that a single bullet caused multiple injuries to both Kennedy and Connally, has also been met with skepticism. Elon Musk's involvement in the release of the JFK files has sparked intense debate. Critics argue that Musk, as a private individual, should not have such significant influence over public funds or government operations. They contend that his involvement undermines democratic principles and the constitutional framework for handling public finances. Concerns have also been raised about privacy, as Musk's proposed AI-driven audits could potentially access sensitive personal information. Supporters, however, believe Musk's expertise in technology and innovation makes him uniquely qualified to address inefficiencies and fraud in government spending. They argue that his approach could save taxpayers money and improve the allocation of public resources. As legal battles and protests continue, the controversy surrounding Musk's involvement and the release of the JFK files shows no signs of abating. What do you think? Was information about JFK's death deliberately concealed? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video for more intriguing stories. See you there.